Welcome back to more of Final Fantasy I Pixel Remaster. This copy was provided to me by Square Enix, just getting that out there for the millionth time, but in case you're coming to this video out of order. Anyway, something that I was just thinking, so cancel and L1. I found that out when I was editing the earlier videos. I've only just started to edit the early ones now, and so if I press L1 and the cancel button, that's not doing anything. No, that button just brings up the world map in general, huh? Don't know what I'm... Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like a secret or if like... Apparently it might have been hinting at a way to bring up the world map in the original version of the game, but maybe not so much now. Anyway, though, we're going to be heading into the ice cave right now, and I'm going to switch over to Duncan here. I almost called him the other thing. But I unfortunately did look a little bit ahead in the guide, and I found out what is in here. I don't know if we can get it now, but from what I can tell, this is... We're supposed to go after the Fiend of Fire. But I guess we'll find out. And that guy ran away, okay. Yeah, I was actually wrong when I said, oh, have enemies never succeeded in running? There was a goblin in one of the first episodes that ran. Anyway. There's quite a few doors around this area as well as downstairs, so we'll see where this leads. I'm going to try and progress as far as I can in here before we go and take on, let's see how much Dia does to them. Also, let me just try something here. Can you press a... No, I can't press any buttons to make fire multi-target. So it's only these kind of spells that are multi-target. And yeah, I am definitely down on those spell levels. And I could use Blizzara. I'm not really sure Blizzara is worth using inside of a an ice cave, but... Guess we'll see whose spell goes off first. That one off first. I hope this kills these. It might not. Yep, that was a bit of a waste of a Blizzara, but okay then. Yeah, I wonder if that's a resistance. That seems pretty low for a spell of that level, so that was probably a resistance. So there's a downstairs there. This actually is starting to really remind me of the Ice Cave from Pokemon Gold and Silver, and Crystal, obviously, and, you know, Heart Gold and Soul Silver as well. And every time well, I mean, it isn't even called the Ice Cave, it's called Ice Path, but I always called it Ice Cave because, maybe because there was an anime episode called The Ice Cave that I mostly know because it got banned. Oh, that's a dead end, okay, I have to go down the stairs. It got banned, and a lot of people debated exactly why it was banned until, like, later on they realized it was just because it had Jinx in it. Some people thought that it had something to do with, like, the SARS epidemic or something, but no, it was because it had Jinx in it, that was the only reason. And Jinx's role in that episode was so big that they couldn't edit it out without the episode not making sense, so they had to skip it, because that was before they made Jinx purple. Anyway... I like the music here, though. I think this is the same music that's used in the Witch's Cave, though. Yeah, seems like there's nothing to do here but to head down to the stairs, so let's run. Duncan looks kind of silly when he's running. Dark Wizard. That seems to be like a kind of a degraded boss variant of the Dark Elf. Well, that's annoying. One thing that makes Duncan good is his, high hitting attacks. These guys really like taking physicals. Okay, interesting. In that case, you're gonna defend. Let's see if you guys... We're in an ice cave, so maybe you guys don't like Fire Arga. We'll see. But typically, anytime enemies take this little damage from physical attacks, it usually means that they actually have low HP and they die to repeated physical attacks anyway. Okay. Okay, but they don't like magic. That's good to know. I had a feeling these enemies wouldn't like magic. That was the case with the slimes earlier. Oh, hi there. Ghast, White, Spectre, Wraith. 4 different versions of Undead here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for those ones, and then you're gonna Dia again. And I suppose you just defend. People like... So, this is actually my first video that I'm recording since uploading part 1. Yeah, I recorded pretty far ahead. And I've since found out that people in the comments have told me, I should say, that Black Mage is generally considered one of the weaker classes in this game, if not the weakest. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not really surprised by that, because they are, like in versions that use an MP meter, they're probably not as bad, but here I just feel like they're kind of just, they're reliant on spell slots to do damage. They don't really do all that much damage, even with spell slots, and... Okay, that's 2 Ds there. Always got to be careful when you're putting yourself on auto battle when you're using magic, but I have several ethers, I think. And speaking of items, I probably should start healing up. Not with antidotes, though. That's probably enough. White Dragon. I wonder if this is a fixed encounter, not a random one, because it was the tile right in front of the door. I get the feeling this actually might be a fixed encounter, because I've heard that the original game did have fixed encounters, like encounters that were on a specific tile of the map. That looks like it's going to hurt a lot. Yeah, this is probably a fixed mini-boss encounter. Or it could just die before I even get haste off. It did hit us really hard, though. Okay, I did get Healra. Okay. Or Healara. This spell was apparently bugged in a very weird way in the original NES version. I just realized a little too late. I was like, oh, that is a pitfall, isn't it? Yeah, I thought it was a little too simple. But there are a lot of chests here, but I also have to fight this thing. It's just a whole bunch of undead that really shouldn't be that bad, even though there's a lot of them. How many deer? I've still got 5 deers. I may as well use those. Yeah, what I was saying is the original game did have fixed encounters that would happen on specific tiles, and what that meant was that you could kind of abuse those for farming if you just repeatedly walked on and off those tiles. I don't think that things work that way in this version of the game, because I have also since been told by comments that the Peninsula of Power was actually removed from this version, which is weird because it was kept in every other re-release. But yeah, this might be a case where... Is this going to be a floor slide? Oh, no, it's a damaging floor. Okay, interesting. How much is that hurting us? Only 1 HP per step. That's not that bad. I do wonder if some of these are monster chests, though. Oh, hi, White Dragon. Unless this is just a basic encounter here. They do like to use that, though, so I will need to be going through some of my potions. Yeah, they die pretty quickly, but they usually get a good solid hit on you beforehand. I'm gonna go ahead and heal before I open any of those chests, because I get the feeling there might be more White Dragons as chest monsters. Let me guess, White Dragon? 2 White Dragons! Yeah, I kinda had a feeling. In that case, maybe I should break out the Fire Auger? I'm not using Ice Storm, though, that's good. Because I feel like these guys, Fire Auger plus both my physical fighters, they probably won't get a chance to... Or they could both die to Fire Auger, because they're weak to fire. Nice. Black Mages do kind of decently, Okay, I'll probably equip that. I'm guessing that makes me resistant to, resistant to ice, maybe? It's also a straight-up improvement for what I've currently got with, Cetro. So let's do that. Mithril gloves. Did I have... I have a feeling I had the... Yeah. No, I didn't. Okay. You can't even use mithril gloves. Yeah, only you can, just for a tiny increase in defense. Oh, yes, these spiked floors. Remind me of Etrian Odyssey and Not Etrian Odyssey, actually. The Persona Etrian Odyssey, Persona Q, where in the oh, hi, Ice Geekers. Where in the second labyrinth, there are damaging floor tiles that you have to step on to get 100% map completion, which is a bit annoying. That's probably a weakness, but it's also the lowest level fire spell, but... It's another, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm flitting between a whole lot of different topics here, but it's another thing that I like about some of the later Final Fantasy games is that your magic like damage seems to be more based on your stats than it is on the actual spells. Oh boy, actual Mind Flayers. I'm glad I got a preemptive strike here because these things would probably be scary otherwise. But what I was saying, I'm gonna try Thundara because I guess they're technically sea creatures, or they could just be pretty weak. But yeah, your magic damage was usually based more on your raw magic stat than it was on the actual spell you were using, so you could still use some of the low-tier starting spells later and still do good damage against enemies that were weak to them. Wow, that's a lot of Gil. But then again, Gil is getting a little less valuable now, given how, yeah. With, you know, the shops and the prices and the expensive and, you get what I mean. I'm glad you didn't go for a second Ice Storm. Wow, really? Didn't even need Fire. Guess this is more evidence that Black Mage is not a great class in the original game. Well, not just the original game, in this version too. Winter Wolf, okay. I mean, I know they're mostly palette swaps, but I am actually... You know what? I can actually repeat my last actions here. Oh, God, they can... Oh, their Ice Storms are nowhere near as dangerous. I was worried for nothing. Good. And that doesn't seem to be a free status in this game, which is good too, but yeah. Even though some of them are palette swaps, I do like that we are starting to see some new enemies here, because we were seeing a lot of Warg Wolves, a lot of just the same kinds of enemies in a lot of the earlier areas, so yeah. Glad that there's a little more variety here. Just gonna go ahead and heal up a little bit. I'm sure this reserve of gold is gonna be it's gonna let me top up my potions after all this is done. Yep, more monsters. Let me guess, more Ice Wolves? Yep, more Ice Wolves. So that means I'm gonna repeat the exact same set of actions. I'll probably have to go back to Crescent Lake again before I go to the volcano. Oh, you're just attacking. I'm guessing you're out of fire. That's annoying. Well, I mean, it's not like these wolves are super dangerous anyway. I mean, they can do that, but... I mean, I don't want to give the AI ideas, but theoretically, if they all Ice Stormed at the same time, that would be a threat, but they don't seem to be smart enough to do that. Enemy AI is probably totally random in this game. Usually is in these kind of games. Like, if they were actually smart, they would all be using Ice Storm, and that would legitimately be scary, but not the case here. Yep, well, actually not a lot of kill there. Maybe I should use a Healara. Yeah, so I got cut off before about this, but apparently this spell, in the original NES version, it was bugged, but in a good way. Outside of battle, it works normally, but inside of battle, it works like Healaga, or Healga, or however that's written in this game. So, effectively, you're getting the level 3 version for the cost of the level 2 version if you, Remoraz. Wasn't there something in a later Final Fantasy that was named after that? I don't know. I'm guessing it can poison us, because that's just kind of the thing with anything that looks like a bug. Well, that was weaker than I thought it would be. I think Remoraz is a D&D monster as well. But yeah, as I was saying, a rare case of something being bugged in your favor rather than against it. Like, I don't think... Like, I was reading the original version of the focus spell, which raises evasion by 20 instead of lowering enemy evasion by 20, and I think it actually means your party. Not like, as in, raises the enemy's evasion. It's not like Pokemon Gen 1 Focus Energy, where it does exactly the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Okay, well now I can cheat and look at the inside of these areas. I was wondering if this is a dead end. Oh, I see what's going on. I see that crack there. I'm guessing that's how you're supposed to get the chests down in that room. that we fell through before. This is actually not a bad dungeon, honestly. Like, I actually think it's kind of cool. Like, it's not, you know, the most complex thing in the world, but it's more complex than most of the dungeons we've seen so far. The enemies have a little bit of creativity to them. Like, they have that Ice Storm attack, which is kind of one of the first major full party hitting moves we've seen outside of boss fights. And only really Lich was using those before. And just the overall design of it is kind of cool. Like the fact that you have to climb up across the floors. It's also very, very, very gold heavy, giving us a lot of money, which is definitely good. Oh, you're only Pisco demons. Yeah, remember when these things were actually a threat? Something I've mentioned in another series, but it's always fun in RPGs where you fight something that used to be a huge threat to you, and then it's just not anymore. These things, however, are actually somewhat of a threat to us. Yeah, I'm out of firers. I say that, just the thought of a dragon fleeing in terror from you is quite funny. It's probably gonna die to Cetro and Duncan, or just Cetro, because, yeah, they don't have, like most enemies in this game, they don't have a lot of health. They can hit you kind of hard, but they themselves can't really take much of it. I mean, they can dish it out, but they can't take it, as you would say. So let's just be a little careful and avoid that crack there. Like, honestly, a new player could easily assume that that's completely cosmetic. Ice shield, okay. Now, I hope that these don't make me weak to fire. Or, I wonder if they actually increase resistance to fire. That would be interesting. I'm guessing you're the only one who can even use shields right now, so there's no point in me giving it to anyone else. So let me see if I was right here. I was! Except I can't get the other two chests from here. I would have had to have got those before I fell down the cracks. Oh well. Oh. Yeah, just, again, like, that kind of feels like maybe that could have been a fixed encounter, but I'm not sure. Because it's right in front of the thing that we need. I mean, we don't know that we need this now, but I, unfortunately, looked at a guide and I know what this is. But I won't be looking at guides anymore. Because hopefully once we get the airship, which, well... maybe that's a force mini-boss. That probably is. But I will talk about that later, because this thing right here, Evil Eye, yeah, looks like this. So this is interesting, because this was a beholder in the original Japanese NES version. And unlike a lot of the other Dungeons & Dragons monsters, which I feel like were generic enough that they could get away with using them in later re-releases without really much legal trouble, a beholder is an actual copyrighted Dungeons & Dragons monster, so obviously they had to change that. I think only the Japanese NES version kept it as a beholder. They changed it to the Evil Eye in the, well, that was a joke, in the Western release, and they changed that for every other re-release. That is the Levy Stone. So with this, we can actually make an airship. I don't know if we end up making our current ship into an airship, or if we find a new one, but that solves that. Oh, you've respawned. You know what? I'm going to be going back to town later, so guess what? Eat Diaga. That is a satisfying animation. Satisfying damage, too. Haven't been up these stairs yet, though. Oh, it's a shortcut out. That's actually pretty nice. However, do I go back in just for those two chests? Yeah, there are only two chests in there I'm missing. It's just like, I keep thinking, I probably should. I'm not going to really show any of this, though. Oh, hi, massive horde of Pisco demons that aren't a threat to me anymore. Oh, actually, maybe they kind of are still. Did not know cockatrices could show up in here. Which is actually pretty bad, because they can petrify you. I mean, they're weak, but... I don't like this. Especially when they attack first. Okay, thank you. I suppose black mages are good for something, namely completely field nuking enemies that can petrify you. That was what I was afraid of might happen, but at least I got Fire Arga in. The wolves weren't smart enough to do double Ice Storm, but those guys certainly were. That was a bad level. Okay, don't step on the cracks. Of course. Oh, and it's a whole bunch of dark wizards. Let me see. Do I still have any fire? I have one Fire Arga. Oh no, I'm defending slower. And that should do it. There we go. Oh, you giant troll game. You giant troll. If those chests were random like the ones in 12, I'd be okay with that, but... Oh, right. I'm glad I went back for that at least. That would have made the rest of this dungeon a lot easier, though. However... I just realized something. That sword's probably not going to be very useful where we're going. Yeah, that's definitely a weakness. I feel like elemental weapons are also a good way of testing what enemies are weak to without wasting spells, because the damage there implies that thing's probably not weak to fire, but the wolves definitely are. Oh, not this encounter again. Okay, no encounter on the last step, that's good. Oh, of course, this is the world map though, so we can still get encounters here. For some reason I thought it was safe on the world map, but obviously not. And so we paddle back to the Crescent Lake. I did not see that encounter before. That is very intimidating looking, but knowing me, it's probably not going to be that bad. I suppose we'll see. How do you guys like Thundergar? Okay, yeah, that wasn't, like, insanely high damage. The crocodiles did more there. Oh, yeah, and they died in one hit. Yeah, as I thought. Not that bad, even though they look scary. Oh, yeah, the crocodiles are definitely weak to thunder, it looks like. Hey, Noah got a kill. Okay, 2 level ups there, nice. That was very good. That was pretty much all you need. And I can shortcut back to the Crescent Moon Town. And just restocking various items there. No one in town said anything about the Leatherstones. That's probably for after you've dealt with the Fiend of Fire. And that will be our next stop, so see you all then.